Hello everyone. Today in this video I am going to deal with the poem of class 10th, The Road Not Taken, written by Robert Frost. Before I start the poem, I would like to introduce you to the poet. Robert Frost is an American poet. He has written a number of poems, and in most of his poems, two themes are quite prominent. The first one is nature, and the second is complexities of life related to real life situation. Here in this poem also, the poet has mixed these two, and the poet has related it to the real life situation. This poem is an autobiographical and metaphorical poem. Autobiographical refers to something which is related to any particular person's life. Here through this poem, poet has shared his personal experience in first person narrative. Now the second term which I used was metaphorical. Now what is metaphor? It is a literary device which is used to make hidden comparison between two things having at least one common characteristics. Here in this poem, the poet has compared a situation of decision making to a real life situation. So in this poem, here the road signifies the options which we have in our life. Sometimes situation, time, life offers us option, and we can opt only one. So you can say that it's a sort of option choice. You can choose any one out of it only. But no doubt in the heart, from the heart, you want to experience all the paths because of curiosity. We want to experience new things. But the thing is, we will have to choose only one. And in that case, we face a number of dilemmas. We used to be perplexed, confused, which one to choose. This situation has been referred in this poem. The poet has compared it to a traveler who is standing at the fork of the road, at the point from where a road divides into two roads. And standing on that point, he is contemplating, he is looking at all pros and cons, that which path to choose, as he is unknown to both. Similarly, in real life situation, these situations occur that we are totally new, we don't know anything about the situation offered to us by the life, but we had to choose one. And before doing that, what we do? We consult our seniors, our relatives, and many more, and then we take that decision. So let's see here how the poet has narrated this situation through his poem. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. And be one traveller long I stood, and looked down as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. So he said that he was travelling somewhere. I already told you that the road signifies the situation, the path, the options offered by life in our real life situation. So he has compared real life situation to a traveler who is traveling lonely in a lone area, in a new area. So he says that he was standing at a point. You can see here in the picture that he was standing at a point from where two road diverged. Two road diverged, it means that road was diverging, it was the fork of the road, it was diverging into two. From a point, the road was diverging into two. And here yellow refers to autumn season. Wood means forest. And sorry, I could not travel both. And be one traveler, long I stood and looked down one as far as I could to where it bent in the undergrowth. So he was offered two options, and being enthusiastic, adventurous at heart, he wanted to travel both, but he felt sorry. Why he felt sorry? Because he could not travel both the path at a time. Being a one person, it's not possible to travel both the path. So he was left with only one option, that he could travel only one path. He could be a traveler of only one path. So what he did, he had to opt out of that too. So he stood there. Long I stood. He stood there at that point. Here you can see in this picture. He stood at this point. He stood at that point, and from there he tried to look both the path. Here look into both the path, it means that he was contemplating. He was looking at the pros and cons, positive and negative aspects of both the path. So he weighed the positivity and negativity of both the paths, and he tried to look into both the path as far as he could see, to where it bent in the undergrowth. So till a particular point, till a particular distance, till where his visibility allowed, he looked till that point, and beyond that it was not visible, therefore he could not see. Moving to next paragraph. Then took the other. This is second paragraph. Then took the other just as fair. So after contemplating, after looking at all the pros and cons, what he did? He took the other. And having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted weir. Though as for that the passing there had warned them really about the same. So after pondering, after looking at all those aspects, he chose the second path. So why he chose, that is being given in the next line, that having perhaps the better claim, that second path had better claim. And just as fair, it means second path was even fair as the first one. And then in third line he says that why he chose the second path, because it was grassy and wanted weir. So it was full of lush green vegetation, and he wanted that road, the beauty, the nature of that road wanted weir. The road was full of lush green vegetation, full of greenery, full of flowers, and it wanted weir. Why it wanted weir? Because suppose if something is beautiful, but if there is no one to praise the beauty, it means it's of no use. Therefore a path is meant to be travelled, but since the traveller for that path was very less, and therefore the road is not a road. And therefore he says that the grassy, it means the natural vegetation, the greenery, the flowers of that road attracted him, and he thought that it would be better option to travel on that path, on the second path. And since that road was less travelled, it was grassy and wanted weir, it refers to that the road was less travelled. The first one was travelled by number of people, number of traveller, but this was less travelled, and therefore he thought that it would be better to travel the second one. it again shows his adventurous belief. Now in last two lines, fourth and fifth line, is contradictory to the previous three lines. Though as for that passing there had warned them really about the same. What he says in the earlier paragraph, he has said that this path, the second path, was not worn out equally to that of first path. It means for on the second path the number of travelers was less. The number of people who had traveled the second path was less, while on the first path the number of people who have traveled was many more in comparison to the second one. But here what it says, that though as for that passing there had warned them really about the same. It means the above three line and this last two line is contradictory. At one point he says that very few number of travelers had travelled, and again he says that no, it was worn out equally. So it's contradictory to first three line of this paragraph. Moving to next paragraph. And both that morning equally lay. In the leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for other day, and yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. Now in this line, in the starting line of this paragraph, he says here morning stands for sun, rain and other natural things, that is natural vegetation, the gift of God. He says that on both the path, this nature has bestowed its blessing equally. The nature has not differentiated. But in leaves no step had trodden black. No step had trodden black, it means suppose if there is a grassy land, a land full of grass, and suppose you start standing at a particular point every day, then what will happen? The grass at that place will die, and definitely it will become a sign that yes, someone has come to this point. So if that road if it would have been travelled most, then definitely there would have been a mark, and the leaves which was there on the road, definitely it would have trodden black, converted into black. But the thing is, here it was same, it was not trodden black. It means trodden here means walked. So if the traveler would have travelled that path, then definitely the leaves which was lying there on the path might have converted into black in color. Oh, I kept the first for another day. So he chose the second path and he kept the first path for another day. Again it shows his adventurous spirit. He want to travel both the paths, as he already knew that he can't travel both the paths. He will have to choose any one only. But again, from the core of his heart, he want to travel the second path as well, and first path as well. He want to experience both the path. Yet knowing how way leads on to way, he know that he may not be he may not be able to come back to this path, to this point from where the option has been offered to him, because opportunity comes once in life. So he know that it may be that he will not be able to come back to the point, because he don't know what is there in store in future or in that path. It may be that from that path, while traveling on that path, he may be taken away somewhere else, and from there it may be that it would not be able to trace the path again. So he says, I doubted if I should ever come back. He says that he has a doubt whether he will be able to come back or not, as he want to travel both the path. So This is all about this paragraph. Moving to next paragraph. I shall be telling this with a sigh. Somewhere ages and ages hence, two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less travelled by, and that has made all the difference. Now he says, I shall be telling this with a sigh. It means it. Now he talks about future. Sigh refers to deep breath out of sorrow or regret. So after ages, he says that somewhere ages and ages, it means after many years, hence means after, he would be narrating this story, his experience, that how he was offered two options, two roads, two paths, and after that he took the second one, and due to which he opted for the less travelled one, and due to which here he stands today, and whatever he is today all because of that decision only. This is what the second last line says, that decision made all the difference, and now he is a successful or wherever he stands. So the poem says that the decision making is very much important. At many points we had to make decision, we have to opt out of options we have, and we should do it very wisely. And one more thing, what the poet has said, that we should not travel on the path which is most travelled. We should try to do something different, try to be adventurous at heart, and this is why he chose the second one, which was less travelled, and due to which he was able to achieve what he wanted to achieve, and this is what made all the difference in his life. So this poem is compared to a real life situation where we are offered different options, and out of which we have to choose any one. That situation is full of dilemma and confusion. We look at all the aspects, and after looking it, we opt any out of it. So that should be very minutely decided. The options should be minutely considered, and then we should move ahead with it. This is all about the literal meaning of this poem. Now let's move to the literary device used in this poem. Now first of all, the rhyming scheme. The rhyme scheme of the poem is A B A A B. Now moving to first line, two roads. Two roads, while discussing the paragraph, I already told you that this two roads refers to the real life situation. It is applied to life, and therefore it forms a figure of speech which is known as metaphor. It's an indirect reference to real life situation. Again, in line 2, 3 and 4, 2, 3 and 4, you can see and is repeated in the beginning of each line. So it forms another figure of speech, another literary device, that is known as anaphora. Another literary device used over here is, you can see in second, third and fourth line, there is no punctuation mark. The word shifts to next line, the subsequent line, without any punctuation marks. So again it forms a literary device that is known as enjambment. Now this paragraph, the first paragraph and the first line particularly, forms an image in your mind. The first line forms an image. So it's a literary device that is known as imagery. Moving to next paragraph. In this paragraph, rhyme scheme I have already discussed, A B A B. Now in the first line you can see it's as fair. So what it is being done? The comparison is being made between the two paths, between the first and second path. So whenever a comparison is being made, with the help of as or like, it forms a literary device that is known as simile. Again, while explaining this paragraph, I told you this last two lines of this paragraph is contradictory to the first three lines of this paragraph. So it forms a literary device that is known as antithesis. Now you can see the second last line. The second last line, the words of second last line shifts to next line without any punctuation mark. Here you can see there is no punctuation mark. So it forms a literary device that is known as enjambment. And third line, there is a literary device that is used, that is personification. Wanted wear. Want is an emotion, something related to human being, and here it is being used for path, and path is non-living. So a non-living things is attributed human qualities, and therefore it is personification. The literary device which is used to personify any non-living object, that is known as personification. Moving to next paragraph. In this paragraph, again we have the same rhyme scheme, that is AB, AAB. Now again you can see here in first and second line of this paragraph, this first and second line forms an image, and it's a literary device that is known as imagery. Again in first line you can see that this line, the word of this line shifts to next line without any punctuation mark, therefore it forms a literary device that is enjambment. Moving to next paragraph. In this paragraph you can see the first line shifts to next line without any punctuation mark, so it refers to literary device that is enjambment. In the last slide already I have shown you, and rhyming scheme is AB, AAB. This is all about this poem. So we saw that this poem refers to a real life situation, the situation of decision making. This is all about this poem. Thanks for watching. If you have any doubt, write in our comment box. Thank you.